God, come and learn about Him. Here's the Bible with Pastor Adam.
Oh, another Wednesday, another time for some Bible reading. Welcome back, guys. We are still in Genesis, the first book of the Bible. So if you remember last week, we read more about Isaac and how he got a wife, and her name was Rebecca. We're still in Genesis this week, and now we're going to learn about Isaac's kids, Esau and Jacob. So these stories take place between Genesis 25 through Genesis 27, chapters 25 through 27. So, Esau and Jacob. Isaac and Rebekah prayed that they would have children. They were happy when God gave them twin sons. The first one born was Esau. Then came Jacob. The twins did not look like each other. So when twins don't look like each other, we call that fraternal twins. So there's identical twins and there's fraternal twins. Fraternal twins are two children born at the same time, but they have differences in appearance. Identical twins are two children born at the same time that look exactly the same, or pretty much the same. So these were fraternal twins, born at the same time, but didn't look the same. They didn't act the same either. Esau grew up to be a hunter. His skin was ruddy, and he had lots of hair on his hands, arms, and neck. His skin was tough. Jacob had smooth skin. He was a quiet man who stayed home and farmed the land. Isaac grew old now. He could hardly see anymore. He wanted to give his blessing to his older son. Esau would then become the leader of the people when Isaac died. So to receive a blessing, it means that you become the leader of your family and you inherit everything that your family has, and your family trusts in you to provide for them and take care of everything that's been given to you. But God had told Rebekah, Isaac's wife, that the younger son, Jacob, would be the leader. So she made Jacob dress in Esau's best clothes, and then she put hairy goat skins on Jacob's arms and hands to make them feel like Esau's. When Isaac called for Esau, Rebekah sent Jacob into the tent instead. So Rebekah has kind of a devious plan. She's up to no good. She's getting ready to play a trick on her husband because she wants Jacob to be the leader. Isaac knew the smell of Esau's clothes, and he touched Jacob's hands and thought they were the hands of Esau. Remember, he's got the goat skins on his arm. He gave Jacob his blessing and made him the leader of the people of Abraham. So this is going to upset Esau quite a bit. Esau is going to come back from a hunt that his dad had sent him on, and he's going to find out that his blessing was given away and his rights as the firstborn son were given away. And this all happened because at some point Esau decided to trade his birthrights to his brother. He came home from a hunt one day, and Isaac was making some stew, and he was like, "I'm so hungry, give me some of that stew." But Jacob, just like his mom, was very sneaky, and he said, "Okay, I'll give you some stew, but you need to give me your rights as the firstborn. You need to be ready to give that up." And because Esau was so hungry, and he was only thinking very small, very short term, he said, okay, I'll give you my birthright, but give me some stew. And so Jacob deceived him, and Esau gave up his birthright. And so now we get to a point where Isaac is getting old and he's dying, and he says one last time, "Go and fetch me a meal, and I will give you my blessing, and you will receive your birthright." But this is when Rebekah has her devious plan, and she says to her son Jacob, "Okay, I'm going to dress you up, and you're going to sneak in, and you're going to pretend to be your brother." And Isaac, their dad, fell for it. He was tricked, Esau comes home from that hunt and he starts crying. He's so sad. And so Jacob receives the blessing instead. So there's kind of a few things to learn from all of this. First of all, you have an example of how this family is not really acting very healthy. They're kind of working against each other. On top of that, they're not being totally faithful to God, and on top of that, they're not really appreciating the things that they were given, the things that they were supposed to receive. You have Esau, who doesn't want to look past the moment, and he just wants to get that food, and so he gives up what he was supposed to have naturally. You have Rebecca, who's devious. She takes matters into her own hands instead of just trusting God's plan. God had already told her, you're going to get this for your son. Jacob will get this. But she thought, oh, I have to do this. I have to deceive my husband. And then you have Jacob, who is not exactly being the best brother. So there's a few things to learn there, and how to be more faithful, and how to be a better brother, a better son, a better wife, a better sister, whatever it is. We need to trust God. We need to be grateful for what He's given us. We need to treat what He's given us seriously, and we need to treat it with respect, and we need to honor and appreciate it. The good news is God will be faithful still to this family. Remember, this family comes from Abraham, and what did Abraham promise, or what did God promise Abraham? He promised Abraham that He would take care of him and all of his descendants, that they would be His people. So this family, Isaac, Rebekah, Esau, Jacob, these are Abraham's people. These are God's people. So God's going to take care of them even when they mess up. And we're going to see that a lot throughout the history of God's people, as they mess up a lot. So next week, and in the week after that, we're going to learn more about these two brothers, about Jacob, about Esau, what happens with them, because Esau comes home and he's really upset, and it's going to drive Jacob away. He's going to run because Esau is so upset he's going to kill him. So Rebekah helps Jacob escape. But more on that next week and in the weeks to come. So remember, be faithful, be respectful of what God has given you. Treat what He's given you with respect and with honor, and use it to glorify Him, and don't give it away so flippantly, so freely, so easily. Really hold it close to you. Remember that, and we'll be back next week to learn more about this family. Bye, guys.